Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be working on the Cayenne, and I had no idea this was going to be happening, but I thought that this would be a good chance to make a video and show you how to replace a battery on a Porsche Cayenne. Now, of course they could have put it under the hood. There's plenty of room for a battery, but no. They decided to give me the Christmas gift that keeps on giving, and I have to take out the front driver's seat. Seeing that I am already dressed for Christmas and in that festive spirit, let's go ahead and tackle this, the worst place for a battery ever. So you might be asking yourself, how do I even check to see if my battery is low? Well, you take your key, you put it in, you do not step on the brake, and you turn it. And you can see all my lights are coming on. All right guys, now that we have the vehicle on, you can see that my battery is over here. It was just at 11.1, now we're at 11.3. But this is the easiest place just to check to see what your battery voltage is. Now, of course, you would expect it to be somewhere around that 12 to 12.3. So we're definitely low, and when I go to start the car, it has some trouble, and I figured better to go ahead and replace this battery now than to be on the side of the road. So the very first thing that we have to do so that we can get under here and expose the battery is first we're going to lean the seat all the way forward. Yeah, I know, kind of strange, right? But that will get the center of gravity of the seat kind of in the middle. So with this all the way forward, it'll kind of keep that seat there. The next thing is move the seat all the way forward. We're going to move it all the way back as well, but we have to get to the first, to the rear bolts, and then to the front bolts. Did I mention that this is the day before Christmas and I'm replacing a battery? It's not exactly what I want to do. All right, we should be able to go to the back now and see the bolts back there. Yay! All right guys, so in the back here you will see that you have two of these spots, and they have these little plastic covers on them. And what we can do is just use something like a pry tool, and they just pop right out. And when I say they pop right out, they do come out. I'll show you what they look like. Kind of dark back there, but there's just two of these on there. Right there is the bolt that we have to take out. And it's a star, so I have to find a star shape. I really think that they don't want us to do these ourselves because they're making it difficult. All right, let's find that star. All right, guys, to do this, those bolts that hold this rail in are M10, not T50. The T50 is just a standard hex. This is a 10-point spline, which also just goes right back into me saying that the only reason they do this is so that you have to go to the dealership. So we will use a ratchet and the M10 to take off that bolt, and then we will go to the front and do the exact same thing. I will list in the description so that you guys can order this exact socket, because you will need this. Otherwise, you will be going to the dealership and spending a lot more money. Now that we have the two rear bolts out, we can move the seat all the way back. Now this is going to show us two more of those plastic clips that we have to take off and two more of those M10 bolts. I'm still not happy about where they put this battery. All right, this little clip is the front one, and as you can see, you should really pry from this back end. So even though it sits like this, just come with the tool and pop it up, and then it releases itself. Good to know. All right, with the plastic removed, you can see one of the M10 bolts there, as well as over there. We'll be able to take both of those out and lean this seat back. When we lean the seat back, there will be some connectors. With the seat leaning back, we can now get to some of these connectors. And right in here, you will see that you've got your three connectors that you have to remove before this seat can be pushed even further back. All right, guys, with the chair back, we can now take a look at these wires that we've undone. This first one was very easy. All you do is basically pull back on this little brown piece, which made it super simple. On this one, all you have to do is smush down on the sides and then pull. And very similarly is this big one, where you just have to push down on the sides as well, on both of those, and then pull it out. Not too bad of a job. Now we get to go in here, and under here somewhere, is the battery. I don't understand how we get to it yet with all this carpeting over it. Once your wires are disconnected, you can pull up on this flap, and if yours is like mine, probably has not been replaced since factory, you will have to pop some of these where it's still sewn or connected to the carpet. But once you get that popped out, you can kind of push this whole thing out of the way up here, like so, and that gets that out of the way. All right, guys, and right here is the last thing that we have to take out, and that is a T20, so be careful, that is not a Phillips head. Once that T20 has been taken out, you can see that this lid is held in place with these little metal brackets, which you can just get off with your finger if you can get your finger down in there. So there's one here, one over here, obviously one back there, one back there, which now you can get to because of that being able to go up, and you can see. So we're going to get all 4 of those taken off, then that cover should come off. So you can see that right down there, you can kind of pull from the bottom and it releases them. It is a little bit of a tricky system. So you pull down here to kind of, you can see how it releases them. These, I believe, are 10 millimeter bolts. So we can take those off, and then those are 10 millimeters, and that's 10 millimeters. And that's what holds this whole battery in. All this work just to get to this battery. All right, so you can see I've got the negative off and I've got the positive off, so I went and did those first. Right over here is just one of the little vent tubes, so we take that off, and that comes out from under here somewhere. I'll actually show you. So one was in the side right there. That's where it was, and then that is there's a little hole down there. Let's see if I can show you. Yep, there we go. And that is where it goes, that little hole right there. So now you know where the vent tube goes. Right now we are still working on that 10 millimeter, and then we'll take that 10 millimeter out of there, and then the battery should be able to come out. So this appears to be the factory original battery, which is very cool. It's done a great job. It is an AGM, and the one that I replaced it with is an AGM as well. The one that I got was a little shorter just because I could not get anything in on time. Like I said, it's the day before Christmas, so let's take a look at what I got. Alright guys, so this is the battery that I went with. It's an Everstart Platinum. It is an AGM H7, so it is a little bit smaller, but still should fit in there and do the job perfectly. Alright, now we go through and do the reverse. These are the 2 brackets that hold it in. This one goes right here on the corner, and that one goes straight down here. So we'll go ahead and get those 2 in, and then we will hook it up, put the cover back on it, and reverse this whole process that took way too long. All right, guys, for the moment of truth, let's just go in here, and I'm back up to 12 volts. Hopefully, once I start driving it around, it will also go up a little bit, but much bigger improvement. I've got full voltage. Let's go ahead and see how she sounds when she starts up. Oh, so much better. That is how she should start up. All right, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed how to replace a Porsche Cayenne battery as much as I did, which absolutely did not enjoy this process. I think that Porsche does this just so they can get the maintenance fees off of replacing the battery and get some shop time in there, because I am sure that they can do it a hell of a lot quicker than I can, but it's still a pain for even them. And I want to show you one thing. Let's take a look underneath the hood. All right, guys, so underneath the hood, you can see that they've done this black cladding, and then they've got the engine, and I've removed it over on this side so that you could see where the coolant would go. But you can also see this huge space, right? Do you know what could go there? I'm just going to take a guess and say a battery. Anyway, with that lovely Christmas knowledge in there, hopefully you don't have to replace your battery soon, but if you do, these few steps will definitely help you. Remember, a link in the description with every tool that you'll need to get this job done. You don't want to be like me trying to find an M10 on Christmas Eve. So anyway, hopefully you guys like, subscribe, and share. We'll catch you next time. Merry Christmas.